Howdy, Possum Patty here. And, well, you know how when something's on the desk, oh, somebody just woke up. Hello. You were sleeping, weren't you? Yeah, she was under the blanket, and I said, Titi, you want to come make a video? And she went, and I saw the blanket move a little bit, and she didn't get up. So I said, Titi, you want to come make a video? She went, And then all of a sudden I started, and all of a sudden now she is here. Hi, were you sleeping? When there's a storm coming, they like to sleep right through it. Storm's not here yet. It's just raining. The wind's not coming till later. Anyway, I was saying, do you know how when something's on my desk, sometimes I like to work on it for a few days in a row? No, this is not going to be about rocks. I did do a few pages in my Dirt Road Diary, which is a really fun hello, you want a kiss? A really fun learning journal about the rocks that I'm finding out on the dirt road in front of the house. But yesterday I had gotten a peachy cheap for my old McDonald had a farm, and this is going to be a memory keeper for my farm that I had in Pennsylvania. And today I was working on the cover. So first, let me show you what I've done so far. And then, well, maybe I'll get some signatures in here. Come on along. I started this journal the way I usually start all my little golden book journals. The very first thing that I do is to get out my heat gun and remove the gold foil. Then I go to the back of the journal and start lifting up the staples till the ends are up straight, and then I turn the journal back over, and with the screwdriver I poke underneath, pull it up a little bit, grab some pliers and pull that off. And now the journal comes right apart. So I take out the signatures, and I decided that I'm not going to use the signatures as pages in this journal, that I'm going to save them and use them as accents, ephemera, etc. I do each little golden book journal differently. You know, sometimes I save the complete story, sometimes I use the story pages but not in order. I do it all different ways. With this one, I'm going to use the journal pages, you know, cut out the chickens and the farmer and the horses and all the fun scenes, you know, like the barn, all the fun scenes from the story. I'm going to cut them out and use them throughout the book. So the next thing I do is I get some cardboard. Now this time I use the back of a pad. And I like the back of a pad of paper because they're usually almost like the cardboard that these little golden books are made out of. It's like a high density cardboard, not too thick, not too thin. So I cut one piece to fit in the middle. Now I'm making a 2-inch spine, and then I cut 2 strips that are 1 inch apart, because with these little golden books it has a bend right here, because this is where it's stapled, so the book opens here. But the way I do it, I use the complete page, although in this one I'm not going to, but usually I use the complete page so I don't have to fold it. I keep that little strip right there. And I'll put some of the videos I made in putting these little golden books together in case you want to watch a few more on how I do it. So then I take a piece of mailing envelope and I glue it down. I've got the 2 strips and the 2-inch spine in the middle, and I glue down some Tyvek, some old mailing envelope or something to give it some support on the inside. I turn it over. I do the same thing on the outside. Now usually I find a piece of material that I like, or I think goes along with the theme of the book, and then I cover. I went way out with this one because usually I only go to about there with the material, but I put a lot of bandana on the inside because I sort of like that pattern. And then on the outside, I put a strip from the bandana. And you know, I went in the other room and I was looking for this old bandana, and I pulled out a couple of them. And TT wants to get up there. I found this one in there. I was like, oh, I remember this one. It has these fringe, homemade fringe on here with these pony beads on each piece of fringe. And I'm like, ooh, I wonder how I can adapt this idea to the cover of the journal. So yeah, this is from my boot scootin' boogie days, you know, when everybody's doing the boot scootin' boogie and you go off to the dance hall and you learn how to do the two-step. And you got to wear something that has fringes on it, right? So I cut a piece that wide, and I didn't measure this. I just snipped it in, you know, like this. No measuring, just cut, 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 cut. And I glued this down, and then after I glued this down, I slipped on these little pony beads, and I put a little drop of glue. I'm testing them now because I found one was loose, to hold the bead on there so it doesn't, oh, see, this one's loose. TT, stay down for right now. So I don't want these to be very loose. Which one was loose? This one. Because in the process of doing the journal, I know it will slide off. So I'll just check them every once in a while till I'm sure I've got them all glued down pretty good. And like I said, I just glued a big piece of the bandana on the inside. And this is one of Mr. Possum's old bandanas. I never had a blue one. I had this peachy one, which I thought was a pretty color. But looking, well, it kind of matches that pig there, doesn't it? Peachy one matches the pig. But this one's a lot newer, so I thought I'd just take the old one, Mr. Possum's old bandana, and use it on the spine there. Kind of matches his coveralls. So this is what I have so far. So far, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You know, I just love to do different things on the covers with the material on the spine. On my Tea Tuesday book, for the spine, I use these rings and I put the little rags ties on there. And I might have kind of been thinking about this when I was thinking about fringing this one up a little bit too. But it's fun. It's fun. Not as crazy as this, but farm fun, right? This is fun. All right, so that, so far so good. So far so good. So now I am going to go get a couple of packs of paper and choose some paper to put inside the journal. What I am doing now is cutting and folding different papers for the signatures, and I'll show you all the paper in just a moment. Now I'm using 12 by 12 sheets, so I have to cut them down to 8 inches by, well, it's 12 by 12, so if you fold it in half, you're going to get 2 6-inch pages. The original book pages are 6.5, but I wanted them to be just a little shorter than that, because sometimes I like to put things on the edge. So some of the pages I did do 6 by 6, so some of the pages I did 6 1/4, and then just kind of flipped them. I'm looking over there. I think I want this one at 5. Yeah, it's on the wrong side. So 5 3/4. So one side is 5 3/4 and the other side is 6 1/4. And I will show you how that all looks in a minute. Just so they're not all even. And that was not very even. Possum straight. I don't think I cut that one very straight. Oh well. Ooh, well, it's possum straight. It's possum straight. This side of the paper is a little bit bigger than that side. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. So like my spring little golden book, which I threw on the floor, I'm going to do 2 signatures with 9 sheets in each. Now my winter one had a 2.5 inch spine, and I sewed in 3 signatures, but 3 signatures of 6 sheets. So I had 18 pages, and in this I'll have 18 pages. So it's still the same number of pages, just a little bit differently done. So this will have 2 of 9. And I had planned that out, and then I was like, oh, but you know what? That one got very chunky. Oh, well, it gets chunky, right? Now, I'm going to save these sheets. I had to take 4 inches off of each one. And I am putting them in my farm organizer bag here, keeping everything together for when I work on this journal. And let me move some things out of the way, like my ruler, my pencil, my eraser. All right, because I think I've got my signatures done now. All right. And this is one of the pads of paper, and I bought this at Michael's in the fall on sale, on clearance. And it is very fall-like, but it's also harvest. And it's a little bit farm-like. See, we got the farm truck here with the pumpkins. So I had this journal in mind when I got this. Now, I did not grow apples, but there was an apple orchard across the street. So I already hauled this. But I didn't show you this one, and I know that because it was still all closed up. It was closed up. I had never opened this. So this is one of those limited time only. So these are the ones that go on clearance. If you, wait for the end of the season and look for these little blue dots. They used to call these hot buys, but now they call them limited time only. And this one's called Front Porch, but it's, there's a horse. It's very farm-like. And look at that. Isn't that pretty? Like farmhouse wallpaper. And look at this. Can I get this under here? Partly. Partly under there. With the little houses and the farm fields. So I love that. You'll see I use that as a center page already. Just kind of like gold fleckles. Wood grain. I didn't use that, but I will. Because, see, these are one-sided. So there's a lot of white pages that'll get covered with these different, look at this bandana. So the white pages and the signatures will get covered with these. I'll cut a little 6 by 8, put it on there. Pretty colors, like a tone-on-tone, pumpkins and squashes and gourds. This one's got gold foil on it. Got that green tone-on-tone. I love this like a quilt with all different designs on it. I love these colors though, but I love my fall colors. But the whole journals can't be fall colors. Gonna have some spring things in it too. I like that. And chickens. I had to get it. It had chickens. Quilting. And then here's the front porch. Home sweet home. and more quilting. And then you've got the wood grain with a little bit of gold on it. Kind of go with that gold fleckle. So I used some papers from that and some papers from Peachy Cheap that I've already showed you the other day. And then I showed you this already too. So these papers I can use like this on these papers here. Although this is 6 by 8. So there we go. Although some of these will be a little bit short, but that's okay. That might even be the first page, right? Farm life is the best life. Why not? I might have to put that on there. So I like this orange with the green plaid with a little bit of orange stripe. And then you'll see I have plenty of spaces to put some of the paper that I haven't used yet in there. And then I kind of got like this tone green with the dark green, the light green, and the white. This is my fave. I don't know why. I just love this. I don't know if it's the turquoise with the red and the wood grain. And I put it opposite this because, you know, it matched perfectly. They didn't come together. Clouds. It's on the back of the horseshoes. I had to put the horseshoes in. And then we got the quilting and this, I don't know, like farmhouse wallpaper maybe. And then these will get covered up. And then this is the center with the farm truck. And then it just goes back the other way with all the same things. And if you can see, I get these lined up here, how some are shorter and some are longer. And I did that on purpose, you know, just to have a little variety there. So that is one signature, maybe the first signature with that on it. And then the second one is, it's in the book. It's in the book. So then I'll pick a page from here and put it on here. I'm not going to do that right now, but oh, I love this one. You know, I'll just pick something like that and put it on there. And then I've got the wood grain with the gold. See how nice those go together. And then these will get covered up. These go together beautifully. This is actually the background of that one. And those will get covered up. And then we got this pink tone on tone, sort of a rosy color. Some more of that quilting. I've got this bandana. Got sheriff stars. That'll probably get covered up. And then look at the center of this one. And the same goes down the other side. So, since it is getting late, I am going to sew these in tomorrow. And I have to go dig out my farm pictures and probably get started on this. So isn't this fun though? I love this. What a cute idea. She says about her own idea. Something a little bit different. I like to do something a little bit different on each journal. So thanks for coming along today and happy junk journaling. Bye-bye.